Whew, what another massive week, you guys. Earthquake, 8.8 earthquake, tsunami, volcanoes, heat dome, now floods. Whew. Anybody out there, any of you spiritual seekers also may be feeling off. You know, there's big energy shifts that are going on. And if you're somebody that's on a spiritual path and maybe you're feeling like more reactive or ungrounded or misunderstood, you're not alone. We're going to get into that today. Welcome to Tea and Chat. My name is 𝗥𝗲𝗱𝘆. I'm a clairvoyant teacher and a spiritual guide. This is our weekly dose of energy tools, clairvoyant training, tips, grounded support to help empaths and sensitives learn to open your natural spiritual abilities. So if that's you on your path, you're in the right place. Be sure and subscribe. Hit the buttons, ding, 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 bell. And I welcome your comments here as well. If you want a little mini read on something, let me know so in the comments and what your question is. So have any of you spiritual seekers out there been feeling like out of character, of feeling kind of short fuse, emotionally drained in reactions to people and the world around us in ways that are like out of character? It's not you. It's not just stress. I didn't eat right. I didn't sleep right. There's a bigger, massive collective energy clearing. And it's in the world. We can see it with all these shifts going on in the weather. The earth is literally expanding. It's growing. It's going beyond its realms. And that's what's happening inside us too. So in this particular phase that we're in, I'm just noticing a lot of people, spiritual seekers especially, running into some extra frustration that's been rising. And I want you to know it's not to punish anybody. It's to help identify and release old patterns, old things that no longer fit or can't go to the next place that I'm moving into. So why is this going on right now? Why does it feel so intense right now? I'm just going to work. I'm doing my thing. I got my tribe, got my friends, got my family, but everything just feels jacked up and really intense right now. What's that about? As I said, there is a collective clearinghouse going on and its expansion. And as things grow and expand, sometimes there's old parts of us, old patterns that need to be updated, like an operating system. None of us are on 9.0 on your Mac computer anymore. We're well beyond that. Let's see, where's my Mac today? I don't know. It's whatever the latest is. We update our systems. And this is happening internally too. So let's talk about some of the things that are happening, but importantly, what to do about them. So there's all kinds of channels out there that can talk about the astrology of what's going on and how that relates here and there. There's great channels that can talk about like space weather and the solar flares that are coming from the Earth, and patterns around that, and how we're in an extraordinary time of that as well. And there's great channels out there that can talk about the Schumann resonance, the frequency of the Earth as it's recorded. You can look into history and you can see where we now, like if you could see the graph and the colors, you would see like normally it's kind of blue and green and chill, but lately it's been like white and in your face and huge and off the graph. That's what's happening internally too. So you can get that information out there. What I want to help you with here is now, what do I do with this? How do I navigate this new space using spiritual tools? So stick around. I'll give you some pro tips at the end, actual steps on what to do. Be sure and use the live chat so I can see your chat. Otherwise, I won't see it until later. Love to hear from you. And if you want a reading on something, be sure and let me know in there. Okay, so while this collective clearinghouse is going on, I'm talking about old patterns that are starting to come up. Maybe it's suppressed emotions, outdated energy patterns or structures, personally and globally. So naturally, this is going to create tension, overwhelm, and resistance. The thing to remember is it's not just, oh, my body's stressed right now. Yes, that's the expression. That's what you feel as a result of the expansion. But think about it too as like the Earth's literally expanding with these volcanoes and tsunamis and everything. We have to make space in our personal body, emotions, energy space as well to accommodate this new expansion. So energetically, we're in this big time of accelerated clearing. Here's something to keep in mind. Old patterns are breaking down both globally, politically, energetically, and personally. And they have to. Like, if you look in the world around us, we're not still riding around on steam engine. We keep expanding and growing. We didn't have AI even, 3 years ago or something. We're growing and expanded by astronomical changes every day. Speaking of AI, when AI first came out, I don't know if I'm like some of you spiritual seekers out there, they go, oh no, AI, that's they're not going to get spiritual stuff at all. They won't get it. So I stayed away from it for a long time. And then I started using it to organize things. And at the end, it would always say, let me know if you want me to organize this in a PDF or something. And I would just ignore it. And like a week later, it goes, what a beautiful offering that you have here, Julia. This will help so many people. I'm like, what just happened this week in AI going from just automation to integrated circuitry? That's one small example of shifts that are going on in the world around us. Imagine what's happening inside of you and the personal shifts that are coming out. If we look at some of these old patterns, breaking down fears, energy dynamics, and so forth, one thing I want you to keep in mind, looking from a clairvoyant lens, is what may look like chaos on the surface is actually these outdated energy patterns in our space. And we're here to look at them, acknowledge them, let them go, and make space for the expansion, for the next step. So why is this happening more acutely for spiritual seekers right now? Let me just check the chat. All right. Why is this happening more for spiritual seekers right now? Why are you feeling things more acutely, like this collective fear, confusion, and extreme polarization, right? Pick a team. There's a really strong impetus out there to pick a team, get on the insider information. This person has the real inside information, so I'm going to follow. This person has the real information, so I'm going to follow. You guys, truth is streaming in. Keep in mind that you can look at all these podcasts and things out there, but we're being asked to go inside too and see where's the real truth. And that truth is bubbling up, and the non-truths are what's creating some of the frustrations right now. It's like, oh, I can't keep that pattern of wanting to fix everybody around me and then getting frustrated when they can't receive it. Any of you healers out there ever experienced that one? I've talked about Mr. Rogers on here before. Mr. Rogers was from my time period growing up, who was a TV personality who had a show for little kids. And he would always say, when there's like a disaster or an accident or something, he would say, keep an eye out for the helpers. There's always helpers. And, if you're not one of them, then to like support the helpers. If you guys are attracted to this channel, you're probably a helper. So you've probably run into this where all of a sudden somebody shows up on your doorstep and they're freaking out during this time of collective change. Maybe they don't have daily tools to be able to work with it. Why do they show up on your doorstep? Because you're the helper. Take a look at that. Do you love helping people? Yeah. I've talked about that more on other channels here. But if you're one of these helpers and this is the time of shift and change, some of you may be picking up this collective energy of others. You walk into the office and you're like, oh, I'm happy. I got my favorite beverage here. I got my tea. I got my bagel or whatever. I don't eat bagels, but I got my coffee and donut, whatever it is you're having. I had mulberry and blueberries and tea because we have blueberries in the front yard. But whatever it is, you're happy, you go in the office and you sit down, and then there's a vibration. There's an energy that you can't see, but you're feeling it. You're feeling it in every fiber of your beingness. Something is off here today. Or maybe, and it can be, maybe you find out a few minutes later, oh, a bunch of people just got let go and they're freaking out. How do I pay for my kids? And how do we pay the mortgage and all this stuff? That collective energy is something that you spiritual seekers are going to be picking up more acutely right now. So you may experience it as heightened anxiety or stress, and you're like, I need a vacation. I need a retreat. Great, do it. And do you know you can learn to let go of other people's energies as well? I see a comment in here. Hello, well-being Simons from SoCal. I hope you're well-being today. We're talking about frustrations from that we might be picking up collectively. Some of it can be confusion too. And you look around and you're going, I'm normally a person that's decisive. I do this and then I do A, B, C, D. I manage people and we make decisions every day, move on, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, I don't know which way it is up. Should I turn right or turn left here? I have no idea. There's a collective confusion going on. And so if some of you are picking up that collective confusion, and then you may think, I'm confused. So this is a big tip here, and I'll give some examples of what to do about it at the end and how to shift that. Another thing you might be picking up, which is more heightened. I mean, it's just crazy to me that the polarization, especially here in the United States, gets even more acute. It's just like, am I in an SNL skit? Saturday Night Live skit or something? It just gets crazier every day. By the way, if you can look at it that way with humor, you'll do better than taking it seriously. But that may seem like a leap. So yeah, old systems and beliefs have to break down now to make room for this new. So it's an uncomfortable time, and it can feel like, if any of you have ever felt like, oh man, I'm in the hallway of life here again. Like the last job just ended and now that door closed and now I'm in the hallway. Where's the next door? I don't know where it is. I don't know what to do. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? You ever been in that hallway? I've been there many times, but there's always a door, and not just one. There's always the next step to move into. So let's look also at what are some other hidden frustrations that might be showing up? Something about boundaries, something about my truth or my energy. These can show up in a room. I was using the example of you walk in the office and you start picking up the energy of something's gone down here. It feels really heavy. And if you're a sensitive, a helper, a healer, somebody who's tuned in, naturally tuned in on these subtle levels, I talk about this ad nauseum here, because this is the time in history that your abilities are waking up too. So if you're feeling things around you, or you have an awareness, telepathy, claircognizance, and knowingness, telepathy, where you're aware of these thought forms of others, clairaudience, where you hear direction, you're hearing things, clairvoyance, where you're seeing, and it's not going to be like a full body apparition. Those are very few people that see like that. It's more of an inner seeing. All of these are naturally coming online right now. And the clairvoyant training method here is to help people get through that. All right. So I was talking about you walk in a room and there's something going on in the room. You start feeling it. You're in the office. You start feeling this collective worry and all these things going on. Here's a pro tip. You're not responsible for it. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to go around to each person and talk to them until they can calm down. If you're called for that, if you're really feeling that inner calling, do it. But I want you to know energetically, just because you're aware of energy doesn't mean that's on your agenda to shift it and change it. We do have to take a look inside and see, where is my department in the office here, and what's somebody else's department. The other thing you guys as spiritual seekers, helpers, healers may run into, if not in yourself, friends and family, coworkers around you, is some old unprocessed past coming up. I was working with somebody the other day, and there were some outdated information about relationships. And in reading the person, I could see that, okay, well, your mother went through this time where she had to grab a man. There was a divorce, and I just need to grab a man. You'll do. Here's one you'll do for safety. And she felt like in that time period, I got to raise kids. It's just going to be too hard on my own. I need to grab a man so I can be safe. And yeah, he used to have a past like that and kind of womanizer, but once he gets married, he'll be different. You'll see, he'll be different. This is real love. And so they hook up. The pattern here was that relationship is about safety. And that pattern got passed along. And even though the daughter didn't agree with that mentally or emotionally, she's like, no, love is this beautiful high, giving and receiving love and sharing and intimacy and this whole thing. There was this old pattern sitting there in her ear going, no, relationships are safety. You have to have safety. And so then there was always a concern for safety. How do I solve this safety? I need to resolve the safety. We take that pattern out, and then you can shift it. And so these kind of old patterns are coming up right now to take a look at and see, do you want to hold on to that pattern, locate it in your body, remove it, let it go, forgiveness, mic drop, let it go, and move on. You might find, though, some of you, if it's friends and families that don't have like an emotional container of a safe community, of some kind of daily practice, grounding practice, or guidance, they can get overwhelmed when things come up like that, right? And they go, oh, my gosh, why am I so reactive all of a sudden? Where is all this coming from? Take a look at how much is even theirs, like this family pattern that got passed down from the women in that family. Oh, here's another, and then I'm going to pass it along to my daughter and then their daughter. This is what relationships are. You have to be safe, not in love. So that kind of stuff's coming up. Let me check the chat over here. Hi, Danny. Welcome from Texas. Looks like Princess. I don't think I'm saying that right, but Prince is Tasha. I'm the one most people call a seer, clairvoyant, clairaudient. But lately, since experiences after tragedy. I want to help people, but energy is telling me to help myself. Oh man, that's such a good message. Absolutely. We have to help the healers here, 100%. That we're just talking about the overload here. Princes, I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly. Sorry about that. But yeah, when you already have these gifts, it's important to have our daily tools, right? Because this is where these intuitive abilities are getting on steroids right now. As the Earth's shifting, changing, and everything, this intuitive ability is also growing and shifting and changing, right? So then it can be an easy overwhelm for people. And I see this with clients, new students coming in. They're like, I don't know what to do. I'm like an empath. I'm picking up too much around me. I just want to pull the covers over my head and hide. Or for somebody that's a precognition, they're seeing the future and they go, oh, this scares the bejesus out of me. I don't want this. I don't want it. Go away. Well, all of these abilities are here for a reason, and they're for the reason of the owner of the abilities. There's something in your curriculum to learn and grow, right? And if your guidance is telling you to help yourself, 100% yes. Stay tuned up. Come in for a reading, and I love helping other healers stay tuned up. But absolutely keeping ourselves tuned up, even as the world is seemingly falling apart. It's not falling apart. It's just old patterns and shifts falling apart. Let's get into some solutions here. By the way, if you're new to the channel, I love having you here. Ask some questions in there. If you want a reading on something, let me know. Oh, did you want a reading, Princes? Princes. I'm just not getting it right. You know, you show up as someone who is like the doctor on call. So like in the environment around you, you're the one that people always go, oh, that's where you need to go. That's where the help is. That's the person that's going to give you the answers. And it's in your workplace a lot as well, because people know you bring a lot of kindness, compassion into there. Okay, it is like princess. Okay, good. You bring a lot. You've got a lot of love and compassion energy in there, and that's one of your healing tools that you bring and that you give with people. There's, you know, this is interesting. Maybe we could look at it more. But you on your hand chakras, Princess, there's energy that kind of came from a male that slowed you down there. So that's one of the things that looks like you need to heal right now. Let's take a look at your hand chakras. And it looks like you were working with a male, and he resists your healing, your offering. And that left this red, like a blister, you know, kind of what it looks like. Touch something hot. So take a look at that. Retired early, but spot on. Great. Yeah, you have a lot of compassion there. Keep shining that brightly. If you're new to the channel, I welcome you here. Be sure and go to juliaharrell.com, get on my mailing list. I'm building a school, you guys. I already have been doing classes. There's online training, but a school, like an online space, is coming in the fall. So make sure you're on the mailing list to hear about that. If you want to take my quiz and mini course, $5, you take the quiz, see where your superpowers are. In the mini course, you learn how to let go of other people's emotions. So that's a fun one. You can start there. Let's get into some pro tips here. Hubby was a pastor in my abilities, yet spirit was and has never been wrong. Thank you. You're welcome. Spirit has never been wrong. Yeah, if we have clear out our ears, get out those psychic Q-tips and clear out our ears, and those with eyes to see shall see. Ask it and it's given. It's a law. It's a cosmic law. All right, what's some tips? This may seem far-fetched. I'm going to go ahead and throw it in here anyway. If things are falling apart around you, what can you bring? Can you even, this is a far-fetched one. Can you bring joy? Can you even bring Stability. Let's start with stability instead of matching the chaos. Just bring a grounded centeredness. And as you progress, bringing more and more energy that's higher and higher towards joy. What do I mean by that? When you see, how many of you seen like a little child, somebody comes in with a baby, they're not even walking yet, and they're just pure joy. Just, they have joy energy there. They don't know about the mortgage. They don't know about insurance payments. They don't know about a hurt foot. They don't know about somebody that rejected you. They're just joy. It's the sun's out and mom gave me a new toy. Yay. And notice how people react when they see that. They see a happy baby and everybody in the room lightens up. You can be having a super poopy day and you see that baby and you light up. Is there any fraction of that we can bring right now? If we don't have all that joy, which not many of us do, can we even bring acceptance? Can we bring a willingness? Can we bring happiness? And we're on our way up to joy. So think about where your energy is while all this stuff is going on. On a practical level, is there something that you enjoy doing that you can share with others? This doesn't have to be record-breaking or going and opening a nonprofit. It can be if you really like baking cookies and it makes people happy, you smell them and they taste good and they're healthy, bring cookies. Is there an offering you can do in your neighborhood? Oh, I have this extra tool that people might want to use. I'm going to let them know on, what's it called? The neighborhood one. Anyway, hey, anybody wants to use, I've got extra time on Saturday. I can come over and help rake your lawn or whatever. Is there something we can offer? The more people doing these little offerings out in the world, whatever you have in abundance to give, it's raising the frequency of the planet. And we're doing our part. It's one thing to sit back and look at the news and yeah, it's frustrating. And depending on which channel you're getting programmed, like a channel, right? So look for truth. But yeah, what can we give? What can we bring? Pro tip here for, I'm picking up too much energy in my environment. How do I deal with it? Number one, daily grounding. Take a few minutes, have your feet flat on the floor, create a big grounding cord underneath you that's wider than you, that goes to the center of the earth, not just down a little bit. Center of the earth is where that recycling station is. And decide to let go of anybody else's stress, anybody else's growing pains, anybody else's problems, chaos, whatever. If you don't have time to sit and be in meditation or anything serious, go and sit in your car or even on the bus or whatever your transport. Put on your headphones so you can be not distracted and just decide, I'm taking a moment, I'm getting centered, and I'm letting go of everybody else's stuff. For bonus points, this is a big one for you guys if you've been practicing this a while. Some of the frustrations coming up right now, we'll let go of them, but another part of it is, why does this pattern keep showing up for me in my life? Take a look and see if there's resistance. What's the resistance coming up? Because that resistance is part of your own old pattern here to let go of. Maybe it's resistance to people that can't have my offering, resistance to somebody that I just offered. They came in and they're crying and I said, well, here's what you can do. And they resisted it. And then do you in turn resist them resisting you? So take a look at our own resistance there. That's the bonus point. Living well. What ways can I support the awakening of the clairs? The mini course has been quite a game changer for me. Thank you. You're welcome. Hey, Living Well, come in and let's do a discovery call and see the best place for you to start. A lot of people like to start with my online training, Powerful Resets for Sensitive People. If you're empathic, picking up a lot of stuff around you, you can start right now in that course, and it contains private coaching with me. So yeah, always you can sign up for a discovery call. That's free, and we'll just do a Zoom, see where you are and how I can best support. But that school will be coming in fall, and I want to get everybody in there. There's going to be a lot of trainings in there, support tools. I've got some teacher trainers coming in there to support as well. Let me see. Did I cover it all? I guess a final note is all these shifts and changes are going on. And if you're a spiritual seeker, you're like, I'm interested in the spiritual path and you want to already be at Z, from A to Z, be content with where you are today. Really have where you are today. If you're at L and you want to go to M, you need to go from L to M, not from L to Q, right? So really enjoy and embody being at L if you're A to Z. Have it. Decide to fully have that lesson, that curriculum. The next step will be given. So thanks everybody for joining me. I hope to see you next week. Love your comments. I will definitely support back. Oh, here's another one, Molly B. Happy Friday. Definitely going through a lot of mother stuff, survival stuff, and being in the hallway. Yeah. Yeah, Molly, yours has 3 parts to it in there. And it looks like you're getting impetus, insight from 3 different directions, and you're trying to choose one. But the key here for you is you need to create a new one, a new path, a new direction. So it looks like 3 different people are trying to say, this is how you solve your problem. No, this is how you solve your problem. No, people say this is how you solve your problem. But you need to go in and see your direction is actually unique. So great to have everybody here. Hope to see you next week, where we'll cover more and more topics. You can always go back and look at the earlier lives. There's a lot of topics we've been covering. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll have a great weekend. Bye-bye.